12 o'clock, three-man front. Busy first half of this Friday show, this Football Friday show. Lantern Roberts, Pat Smith, Conrad Van Order, one Molly Robinson. She is putting on the face paint, getting ready for her Cornhuskers as they do battle with my good friend, longtime friend, PJ Fleck in the Minnesota Golden
the Minnesota
Gophers. Get you some hot dish.
Some hot dish.
Get you some hot dish. Put on a hockey sweater and go skating around the frozen pond.
I love a good casserole.
Oh, I do too, Miles. That game tonight, as well as some other college football games, including Wimp's Blue Plate. If you missed it, Cal at home, minus the points. Doobie Hill, the site of that one. You get the late kick. All you high school football fans. Once you get home, you're going to have Bill Belichick. Does Jordan make the trip, Conrad? Jordan.
To get a chance to see Doobie Hill? Are you kidding me?
She's an East Coast girl, though. East Coast, West Coast.
She's never seen it before, yeah. Be a new experience for her.
I bet she's seen a lot with that bankroll that she's got.
I feel like after something that came out this morning, she might be doing some damage control this weekend instead of attending a game. So we'll see.
Well,
yeah.
I have a question for you, though, Molly. So are you, because obviously you're going to be busy tonight doing the Hewitt Trustful game.
Of course.
So are you going on social media and blocking out any Nebraska-related tweets or anything?
No, we confiscate her. We do not allow her to have a phone on the side.
No, okay, they take it away from me.
Okay, I didn't know if you were going to be able to get home and watch the game without knowing what happened. Like you could kind of be surprised.
I think just for my sake and sanity, I'll probably block it out.
Okay.
Until later. But I might sneak a couple scores. Even though I won't have my phone, I have my ways.
She has the trainers on the sideline.
I do.
Looking at their phones.
Yeah.
They give her updates.
I've got people.
That helps. I just didn't know if you wanted to completely block it out so when you got home, you could sit down and watch the game like it was live and take that experience in for yourself.
But the question is will I want to do that to myself?
Well, that's what I'm saying. You don't want to keep up with the game because you don't want to.
And that's a good point.
Potentially be afraid to watch it, yeah.
Big news in college football yesterday afternoon. Curt Cignetti has agreed to a new 8-year contract through 2033. His annual salary average now is $11.6 million. It's interesting because the Indiana AD approached Cignetti about a new deal on Monday, the day after Penn State fired James Franklin. The $93 million deal is fully guaranteed for Curt Cignetti. Amazing. The contract calls for a $15 million buyout to Indiana if Cignetti were to leave for another school. That is up from $10 million in the previous contract. So a big payday for Cignetti. Speaking of James Franklin, he will be live on set tomorrow on College Game Day in Athens, Georgia. Very interesting because James Franklin's name's already been mentioned potentially if there was an open at the University of Florida. Just told you about a story from Gators Online, which is the On3 site. They're saying that there are coaches being vetted as we speak in Gainesville, Florida. So I think it's just a matter of when, not if. Billy Napier is done.
So if Ryan Day lets you know he was interested, are you vetting Ryan Day?
I don't think so.
I don't think so either.
No.
I mean, the Jaguars, they vetted Urban Meyer before they hired him, right?
Did they, though?
No. That's what I'm saying. Everybody's like, we're vetting them.
Hey, I did get a call yesterday from someone that told me that they had heard that there is a faction that would love to have Urban Meyer come back.
Why not?
Nothing would surprise me. Nothing.
Does Urban have that itch?
I don't know. Maybe he's happy doing a podcast with Mark Ingram every week.
Going back to the vetting, even if they find something out, if you're a good enough coach and they think they can keep it under wraps, they'll still hire you.
Would you need to vet Lane Kiffin?
I think he's the perfect example of what you're talking about, right? You have to, whatever your baggage is your talent more than your baggage? If so, you're good to go. Otherwise, you end up like Antonio Brown.
Well, you vet him, but I think you also talk to people that it looks like he's changed. his life, right?
All indications are that is real. That's not a facade.
He's a little more mature in certain areas of his personal life.
Absolutely.
So that's good. But I don't think there's a whole lot of vetting that goes on there.
I would think if you're vetting, it would have to be one of the maybe the non-Power 4 coaches.
Yeah, you're vetting Alex Golesh.
Yeah.
If you go and hire Lane Kiffin, you know what you're bringing into the program with Lane Kiffin.
Is he KGB? Is he working for them? Coach, we want to know. When's the last time you had contact with anybody in Russia? Kidding, Coach. Respect you a lot and hope you get a great job. We'll see you in Birmingham here in a few weeks. He is a super nice guy.
Just imagine he got a big-time college football coaching gig and you had, because we know Donald Trump's a big sports fan, you had Trump and Putin attending a whatever Florida-Alabama game with Alex Golesh as the head coach.
Putin wearing
the
Bulls colors.
Absolutely.
Wow. That would be something.
Could bring peace. You never know.
Another story that's been developing this week, not only Curt Cignetti and the opening at Penn State, is this ongoing situation with the Big Ten. And the reason why this is interesting to follow this story, not if you're a financial person or you're a background in finances, this is very intriguing because the Big Ten is considering taking private capital investments into the conference. So the plan would call for the league to spin off into a new entity called Big Ten Enterprises. That would house all the league-wide media rights and sponsorship deals. So the University of California Pension Fund, they would receive a 10% stake in the Big Ten in exchange for a cash infusion. Are you ready for this?
Yep.
$2 billion. 2 B's. Billion.
Billion.
And that money would then be distributed amongst the 47 schools of the Big Ten Conference. Is that how many you got in there now?
Close, 46.
46?
Yeah.
So $2 billion. They own 10% of your conference. And we're going to give you $2 billion, and then you can distribute it however you want to because all these athletic departments are cash strapped. They need money. They've got stadium debt. They've got players to pay for. They've got Curt Cignetti to pay for.
I think you take an NFL draft type approach. So whoever finished last in the standings, they get the biggest allotment of money to try to get that Big Ten conference where it's top to bottom more consistent because, Molly, it's so top heavy, it's disgusting.
But that's what I love about it.
I know.
Now, if they were to accept this money, it would kick in an exclusive rights deal that would be extended to 2046. Now, the Big Ten is in the middle of a 7-year, $7 billion media rights deal through 2030. Numerous schools, however, they need this money desperately, as I just mentioned. Operating costs, revenue sharing with athletes, significant debt on stadium constructions and other projects around the football programs. So the conference presidents and chancellors, they had a conference call yesterday. 2 schools in the Big Ten said, no way. We're not for this. This is bad. No, not happening. And as we all know, anytime that you have a conference vote, now it wasn't a vote yesterday, it was just a conversation, but 2 schools said, we're not doing this. Unless it's unanimous, you're not voting on it. Like you're going to kick the can down the road until you get everybody on board. So the two schools that said no was the University of Michigan and Southern California. University of Michigan regents criticized the proposed deal, illustrating how tenuous completing it would be to be able to give 10% of the conference to an entity in California. Regent Mark Bernstein dubbed the deal a payday loan. Another regent, Jordan Acker, compared it to opening a new credit card to pay off debt.
Yeah.
So all the other Big Ten schools, including Nebraska, was all for taking $2 billion and losing 10% of your conference to a private equity that is willing to put forth the money. The other interesting part to this is we all know that the University of California system, especially when it comes to athletics, they're huge in debt. Huge. Matter of fact, UCLA, who's now a member of the Big Ten, they're paying the University of California system $10 million a year just to offset the shortages that the University of California Athletic Department currently has.
Yeah, how fast do you think they voted yes on that? And by the way, if I step out of the room, just know it is an emphatic yes.
So here's the other question. Let's say the Big Ten ultimately says yes. Give us $2 billion and you can have 10% of the conference. Do whatever you want to with that, grants of rights and all that kind of stuff. So then what happens when Conrad Van Order private equity comes in and says, hey, the University of California Pension Fund, I am willing to give you $5 billion for your stake in the 10% of the Big Ten Conference. And Conrad's equity firm goes, you know what? That would double my money, my investment. That's a good deal. I will take that. Does the Big Ten have the ability to block somebody buying the 10%? Or do they have something written into where they would say, no, we cannot allow a Southern sympathizer that went to the University of Alabama to have his gritty paws on 10% of our conference?
And then I guess if you're the Big Ten, you feel like you're a big fat pawn and you've just been used, and that's a really bad look for leadership in the conference.
Better believe it. This is a fascinating, and you know that Greg Sankey and the
This is
rest of
very
the SEC
interesting.
office, they're sitting there like going, okay, now we know that the Big 12, there were rumors about a year or so ago. Don't you remember they were having conversations? Wasn't it a European? It was a European investment company a couple of years ago that the Big 12 was actually looking at perhaps investing into the conference. So this is going to be very fascinating to see where this goes, because
I would think, though, you would have to draw up some kind of safeguards.
if you want $2 billion, I mean, how much are you willing to?
But
say?
make no mistake about it, these private equity firms, they're in it to make money.
Sure, they're not just there to just hand you money.
They're not there to just be a good steward of resources or reach out to their fellow man and go, yeah, you guys, whew.
And I guess if you're
We've been watching this from afar. We got heavy hearts. Here you go.
So if you're the California Pension Fund, I guess you're looking at the Big Ten and go, okay, if I give you $2 billion and then you distribute it amongst your 70 schools, then all of a sudden those schools get the influx of cash where you can go buy as many players as you want, which would then put the Big Ten ahead of everybody else in regards to potentially winning championships.
Well, what happens when the private equity firm says, you know what? This has been a good run. It's been a good 3-4 year run. We're ready to cash out. We're ready to sell back this 10%, but this is how much it's going to cost you.
Yeah. And then the Big Ten would either have to buy it back, or then they go to Conrad Van Order private equity, and then he buys it for whatever he wants.
Or we're going to sell our stake to this other private equity company. And then at that point, do you know who you're dealing with?
Yeah. So
Because the knock on private equity is they're going to come in, they're going to have cost-cutting measures. There's going to be different fees that eventually will sometimes draw. Now, not that that's the case, but that's the knock on private equity.
yeah, I mean, prime example. I mean,
One of the knocks.
If you look around the Big Ten, I mean, I don't have their financials in front of me. I would think like a school like UCLA would love to have an influx of cash.
They need it.
I'm sure Rutgers is another school that would love the opportunity to have an influx. You know, we're talking about, certain schools that their athletics department is not just over the top with money availability.
Well, after yesterday's agreement, you think Indiana's like, yeah, well go ahead. Let's recoup some of that we just promised Kurt.
It's fascinating because apparently Petiti is all about this. Like, he has been pushing this hard. And Michigan and Southern Cal, they're like, which makes a lot of sense because Michigan is one of the biggest endowments of a public institution.
Well, that's why I was
United
surprised
States.
that Ohio State and Oregon were okay, because I would have thought you would have the teams at the top would say, we don't want to give everybody else the advantage to catch up to us. We want to
Right.
stay at the top. Why would we want this? We don't care what's in the best interest of the conference.
Well, I also think they're looking 10 to 20 years down the road, and they're seeing the escalation of all this.
Good point. Yeah.
And what it's going to cost you. So, and Southern Cal is a private institution.
Mhm.
So that's why I think Southern Cal and Michigan are standing up and going, no. I mean, because this quote of This is a deal. This is a payday loan. This is like you going to, a check cashing place and say, hey, look, I don't get paid for 2 weeks. So, give me a front of my paycheck. Or another regent, Jordan Acker, compared it to basically you opening up a credit card to go pay off your current debt that you have.
Well, and I know that we've had this discussion on, but if a private equity firm wants to buy, in this case, a stake of an entire conference, what if one wanted to come in and just buy certain teams? I'm a private equity firm. I want to buy Ohio State. Give me Alabama. Give me Oregon, whoever else. Give me 2 more elite top football programs.
I would assume that in a conference charter, that is not allowed. As long as you're a member of X conference, that would not be permitted.
Because otherwise you would have priority.
I'm just thinking about
So why be in a conference?
Yeah.
Motor racing, and you own different drivers, and you have different cars that are competing, and maybe you umbrella it out. You say, well, these are our 5. If it's a Saudi Arabian hedge fund or whoever.
Okay, so to that point, though, what if you're Notre Dame? You're not part of a conference.
No. Notre Dame, go do what you want. I mean, prime example, there's a report that came out that Michael Lombardi, 2 weeks before the first game of the season, he went to Saudi Arabia seeking investment from a Saudi Arabian businessman that was a college football fan, and he was trying to get money for the University of North Carolina.
What if the Vatican came out and said, Notre Dame, we're giving you $100 million a year? We expect championships, Marcus.
I'm sure they'd say thank you.
There's a better chance of that happening now, right? We got an American Pope.
Yeah.
And I know that's
From
not
Chicago.
It's not the sexiest topic to talk about private equity, but this is a big battle in the Big Ten right now. Like there is a lot of bad blood brewing about this. And they were hoping to have a vote on it yesterday. And the Big Ten had to release a statement saying that we will continue to have conversations about this. But right now, Michigan and Southern Cal, they are a hard no. Like, no thanks. So we'll see what happens. For more than 4 decades, Alabama Professional Services, they've been trusted choice for pest control, termite protection, lawn care, fertilization, and more. The certified statewide teams at APS, they're experts, they're friendly, they're ready to help you today, efficient and reliable. Call them at 205-951-9717. Whether you're looking to safeguard your home from pests, to keep your home healthy and your lawn green, APS delivers proven solutions backed by dependable customer service. So call them today, 205-951-9717, or simply go to their website, alabamaprofessional.com. We roll on this Friday. This is a football Friday. Bet it or forget it in about 12 minutes. 1 o'clock, we'll talk some high school football. This is Jock's 3-Man Front. Oh, yeah. Third Saturday in October coming up as the Alabama Crimson Tide now an 8.5-point favorite against the Tennessee Vols coming up tomorrow night inside Bryant-Denny Stadium at Saban Field. Were you guys aware of an ongoing battle in the Big 12? Did you know that there's a big brouhaha going on right now? Did you read about this? I know we're so consumed about the SEC and what's going on and down on the plains of Auburn and Alabama, big win at Mizzou, but there is now a scandal in the Big 12. And
Removing the Roman numerals? Just
No,
going with the number 12?
No, it has to do with Tortilla Gate.
Oh, boy.
If you're not familiar with Tortilla Gate, the fans of Texas Tech and Lubbock, Baghdad,
Yes.
they love to throw them some tortillas on the field.
Flour tortillas.
That is correct.
Mm-hmm.
So last weekend in their game against the Kansas Jayhawks, Texas Tech was penalized twice during the game for objects being thrown onto the field. Once was for tortillas. The other was for a pocket knife that Kansas found on their sideline in the third quarter. Take a listen to Lance Leipold, who is the head football coach of the Kansas Jayhawks. He and Coach McGuire got into it big time during the handshake after the game because Leipold was pretty ticked off about the fan behavior there in Lubbock. Take a listen to Leipold's post-game press conference.
Very poorly. Our conference office and Scott Draper and them were very poor at handling it. They said one of the officials almost got hit and tried to throw a flag and it got picked up, so that was disappointing. We have a policy put in that wasn't followed through, so I was very disappointed on how that was. It's obviously they have a great crowd. They really get into it and do some things, but I know the officials were just as frustrated after the one penalty was picked up by whatever they call the rock, wherever that is, where it sits. Say what it is. A pocket knife was thrown out and hit one of our staff members. So, it's ridiculous. It's supposed to be for safety and things like that, and it's a culture that's been accepted to a point, and it hasn't changed, and eventually somebody's going to be seriously hurt, unfortunately.
When did that happen during the game?
In the third quarter.
All right. There you have it. That was his comments after. If you go back and you can watch the exchange between McGuire and Leipold was not, as a matter of fact, Leipold didn't start yelling profanities at Leipold. It got ugly at the handshake. So the league, the Big 12, they have now fined both Kansas and Texas Tech $25,000. So you ask the question, well, why was Kansas fined when all this stuff was being thrown on the field? Tech was punished for not controlling the tortilla throwing, but Kansas's fine was far more interesting. The league said Kansas was fined for disparaging comments about the conference, and you heard those comments just a moment ago, and a member institution because they took a shot at Texas Tech, and an inaccurate statement regarding a pocket knife by head coach Lance Leipold. So the Big 12 investigated and found that Leipold's statement about a pocket knife being thrown was not accurate. Thanks to Don Williams of the Lubbock Avalanche Journal, who had a video.
Don Williams.
He's got a video of the Kansas sideline and details on Texas Tech's side of the story. Not only did the Red Raiders feel like the proved via video that the knife wasn't thrown from the stands, but many interpret the video to actually showing a Kansas staffer dropping the knife on the sideline himself moment before a player picks it up and then gives it to Leipold.
Oh.
That's great.
No way.
So because of that video, Lance Leipold came out with a statement yesterday about the Big 12's ruling. I appreciate the Big 12 Conference thorough review of events that took place during our game last Saturday at Texas Tech. I accept their findings and ultimate ruling. I had an emotional reaction in the aftermath of the game and acknowledge that I need to do better. End of quote. So late yesterday afternoon, the Big 12
wild.
also announced, now this is for the whole conference as a whole, a second offense of objects being thrown onto the field will now be $100,000. That even sparked more outrage in Lubbock for, they think this is just fun. Hey, we're throwing tortillas. It's just kind of our thing. It's just like in Detroit, they throw the octopus,
I was gonna say, you
whatever
throw the
the case may
catfish
be.
in Nashville, yeah.
Yeah. So, but the fact that somebody had a grainy video showing that a Kansas staffer had dropped a pocket knife on the field, and the whole brouhaha after the game was the fact that somebody from the stands had thrown a pocket knife at the Kansas bench, which I guess this was their ultimate plan.
Well, my original thinking was, of all the things to throw, people are really particular about their pocket knife.
Yeah, people aren't just gonna give one of those away.
No. That's hilarious.
So Lance Leipold, who knows?
Well, another notch on the belt of all coaches are liars, right, Pat? You just didn't know that this one would be about tortillas and pocket knives, but here we are.
Usually it's about them wanting to stay at a school and getting a large payout from somebody else. Now, another prime example. Thank you, Conrad. It was right in front of me.
This is what Jim McElwain in Central Michigan should have claimed.
Somebody threw a pocket knife?
Somebody threw Connor Stallions on our sideline.
Yeah, threw him from the first row. I don't know why.
Where did he come from?
So, yeah. But just go back and watch the video of the handshake and see if you can make out some of the profanities that were exchanged between the two. It was good. And then come to find out now this was all a conspiracy that was drummed up by Kansas, of all people. All right, when we come back, we do 5 games against the spread. Conrad, Molly, and Landrum, they will give you their award-winning picks next on Three Man Front. It's 12:33. Welcome back in. This is Three Man Front. Each and every week on the program, we do a segment called Bet It or Forget It, and it's brought to you by Conrad Van Order Enterprises.
The following is for entertainment purposes only. Listener discretion is advised.
Three-man fronts. Bet it or forget it.
All right, so last week, Molly went 4-1, Landrum 3-2, Conrad 2-3. So on the season, Landrum still leads everybody. He's 8 games above 500, 24-16. Conrad is 22-18. Molly is 21-19. So
Coming back
everybody
up.
is over the 500 mark. Let's start with game number 1. LSU is a 2.5-point underdog at Vanderbilt. Point total is 48.5. LSU has won each of the last 10 meetings between these two schools. The under is 5-1 in the Tigers games this season, with the lone over coming against FCS level Southeast Louisiana. But when you look at this rivalry between these two teams, the home team is 0-6-1 against the spread in the series. So let's start with Molly.
Yay.
You gonna bet it or forget it?
I'm going to bet it. And what is a bet it or forget it without me taking the under at least once? I know. I like the under in this one, though. I do like Vanderbilt to win the game, but that spread stat that you just gave kind of scares me a little bit.
0-6-1 against the spread.
Yeah, but I am more
The home
confident in the under.
All right. How about you, Conrad?
I'm going to go the same way as Molly. I'm going to take the under in this game as well. I considered taking Vanderbilt because I do think they're going to win the game. But when I can't get over the fact that a large part of why I think they will win is LSU hasn't scored more than 23 against a Power 4 opponent,
Bingo.
which would also bode well for the under. So I think under's the safer bet. I'm taking the under as well.
All right, Landrum, the leader in the clubhouse right now. You betting it or forgetting it?
I'm betting it. Under the bridge downtown is where I drew some blood. Red Hot Chili Peppers. A lot of blood in this one. Blood bath. I like the under.
Yay!
All right, so everybody takes the under in that one. Next game, Oklahoma. They're a 5.5-point favorite on the road in Columbia, South Carolina. 43.5, that is the point total. South Carolina has covered 5 of its last 6 at home. All 6 of Oklahoma's games this season have stayed under the total. South Carolina has lost both games straight up this year as an underdog. Let's start with you, Conrad. Betting it or forgetting it?
Oh, I'm betting it, and this is going to sound familiar to the last pick because I'm also taking the under in Oklahoma, South Carolina. So South Carolina, they're going to be down 2 offensive linemen as well, which that's not going to bode well with the Oklahoma defensive line. I still think John Mateer maybe needed some more time to recover from that injury, so I'm not sure the offense is going to be spectacular. I think Oklahoma will win, but I think the under is yet again the best play.
All right, Landrum, how about you?
I'll play the under.
Okay, here we go. Sense the theme developing here. Molly.
I'm also taking the under.
Oh,
this is the
no.
best day
this
ever.
is disgusting.
Yes. This makes my
6
Big Ten heart so happy.
6 picks, 6 unders. My gosh.
I don't have
Yes.
any more unders picked for the rest of the time. I'll just say that.
All right,
I
next
have not
game.
decided.
The Ole Miss Rebels between the hedges. The Rebels are a 7.5-point underdog. The point total is 54.5. The Rebels' last 3 games have each stayed under the total. The Dogs are a 2-8 against the spread run as a home favorite. Kiffin is only 2-5 against the spread as a road dog. So let's start with you, Landrum.
What's the over under?
54.5.
I'm going to go under.
Yes.
Why do you get so excited about someone going under?
I love picking the under. It's so fun.
Well, why don't you just let me go ahead and write you down for under on all the games then.
Well, no, I have a different under for this later, not for this game.
Different kind of under, Pat.
Oh, I didn't realize that there was 2 different kind of unders when you, okay. All right,
There's
Molly,
under
what's your
and then
pick
there's
then?
Under.
What's your pick then?
So I'm not taking the under in this one. I do like the under, but that's not my official pick because I got a text from somebody very near and dear to the show this morning Brett Norsworthy. Saying
Who?
that Brett Norsworthy.
I don't know who that is.
Oh, well, the Southern gentleman saying that he
Oh,
was
that guy.
listening
Oh, yeah.
on the way over on his car ride. And that inspired me to take Ole Miss in the points. I know Lane Kiffin is awful against the spread, like you just said, especially on the road. I don't care.
He texted me too. He was enjoying our segment with Wimp.
He's just the best.
Conrad.
I did not receive a text from Brett Norsworthy this morning, so
There's a really good reason why.
yeah. So that really makes me want to take Georgia now because I feel like I've been left out. Man, this one's so tough.
The under.
This one, no, I'm not taking the under. This one's really, really tough, but I am going to take,
Forget
since
it.
it's 7 and a hook,
Forget it. Just walk away, Conrad.
I'm taking Ole Miss. And I know what the suit came in here and told us earlier in the show, and that really makes me feel bad about this because I do think Georgia wins the game. But I don't think Georgia's offense is good enough to take Ole Miss down by multiple scores. So
What do you
yeah,
think
give
the
me Ole
final
Miss.
score is? Just give me an idea.
30-27. 31-27.
So you think it goes
30-20.
over?
There's that 31-27 again.
That
That's
same
the most
score.
popular
It's a
prediction
great score.
ever.
So yeah, give me Ole Miss plus the points.
All right, next game. Missouri Tigers down at Auburn. The Mizzou Tigers, they're a 2.5-point favorite. Point total is 43.5. Auburn's last 5 games have all stayed under the total. Hugh Freeze is only 2-8 straight up in games decided by 1 score. Mizzou has played the 90th toughest schedule in all of college football. So let's start with you, Conrad. You going to bet it or forget it?
I'm going to bet it, Pat, and I know Molly's going to take the under on this one. She looked really excited. I also considered the under for this one, but I do think ultimately it's going to be a competitive game. I think Missouri's going to be able to score some points. I think Auburn's going to be able to score some points. But until further notice, it's hard not to go against Auburn. I need to see something from them. Let me see them actually win one of these difficult matchups before I believe. So give me Mizzou minus the 2.5.
How about you, Landrum?
I'm going to, in poetic form here, kitty kitty. Hugh Freeze's offense has looked not so pretty.
Oh, I thought you were going to use
I
something
could
else.
have. This was the radio safe version. I'm going to go Missouri. Show me something else. I'll never forgive myself if I took Auburn and then Auburn does on offense what they've done the last 3 weeks. Give me Missouri minus points.
Molly.
To no one's surprise, I am taking the under in this game. I do like Missouri to win, but like Landrum said, I mean, Auburn just, their offense isn't really taking advantage of what their defense has been able to kind of keep them alive and help them out with. So I think this is going to, I don't care it's low. I think it's going to be a lower scoring game. The under.
Final game of the week, the third Saturday in October. Tennessee comes into Bryant-Denny Stadium at Saban Field. They're an 8.5-point underdog. 58.5 is the point total. The home team has won and covered the last 4 meetings in this series. The Vols have not been a good underdog in recent years. Since November of 2022, Tennessee has gone 1-5-1 against the spread as an underdog. The Vols only have 1 point spread cover over an FBS team this season. That was Syracuse. Alabama is 5-0 straight up, 4-0-1 against the spread since losing in Tallahassee in week 1. So let's start with you, Molly. You going to bet it or forget it?
I'm going to bet it, of course. DeBoer versus Heupel. Aguilar and Ty Simpson. To me, this just screams the over. I like the Mike Rodak line of thinking. I think this is going to be a much higher scoring game than what we've seen. Maybe not exactly like the Tennessee-Georgia game, where Tennessee kind of got out early. But I know we've kind of bet the over for Alabama some, and they've kind of bitten us with that, and then they were the under last week. But no, I think that this is actually going to be a really high-scoring game, so I like the over.
Landrum.
Why does the state of North Carolina not float off into the Atlantic Ocean? Wise man once asked the question to me, and his response to his own question was because Tennessee sucks. I like Alabama. Minus the points, a lot of offense. Kidding, my friends from Tennessee. That was just something that I like to add when it comes to the state. Give me Alabama minus points. Big day
All right,
for
so
Ty Simpson.
we wrap up Bet It or Forget It for the week. The Saban wearing hat today, the Tua jersey wearing Conrad Van Order. You going to bet it or forget it?
I'm absolutely betting this game, Pat. Tennessee has not beaten Alabama in Bryant-Denny Stadium in 22 years. And it's not going to happen tomorrow. But what is going to happen? A backdoor cover by the Tennessee Volunteers. Tennessee plus 8.5. They cover, but Alabama gets the win over the Vols.
Vols know all about that back door, don't they, Conrad?
That's right. Woo!
Oh, my. Okay. Another award-winning edition of Bet It or Forget It. Slap a label on that tape. Send it off to the Broadcast Hall of Fame. Good luck to everyone involved.
We're going to get a Marconi on that one.
Yeah, big time. Wow. More three-man front as we roll on this Friday. Top of the hour, we'll talk some high school football. This is Jock's three-man front. $12:48, top of the hour. We'll talk some high school football as we roll on closer to the playoffs. It's also halftime of the kickoff sales event at Courtesy GMC right now. Get up to $15,000 off the remaining 2025 Sierra 1500s and 2500s. The absolutely lowest price you're going to find anywhere in the state of Alabama is right there at, of course, the wonderful Courtesy GMC in Trussville. The all-new 2026 Sierras, they're also arriving daily there at Courtesy GMC in Trussville. And for a limited time, they're marked for the 2025 model year pricing. That's right. Get a brand new 2026 model for the 2025 price. And remember, every new GMC comes with Courtesy's exclusive 7-year, 100,000-mile powertrain warranty. So take an opportunity. It's just a short drive no matter where you are in central Alabama, right off of I-459, exit 32 on Edwards Lake Road, right next to Lowe's. You can't miss it. It's Courtesy GMC, 9 acres of inventory. They got TVs all over the showroom. You will not miss one single play in regards to the football this weekend. So go out there, watch some football, and take a look at some of these great deals they have. It's halftime of the kickoff sales event there at Courtesy GMC.
Text line is open 205-834-9450. Best way to interact with us. Going back to our picks from the last segment. Somebody said that segment was fire emoji. Glad you enjoyed. Steve from Tuscaloosa, Tennessee 34, Alabama 27. That would be an interesting Monday.
He did pick Mizzou to beat Alabama last week, too.
I'll pass this along from our friend Don Don. No, I'm not going to do his voice. Hey, everyone. Happy Football Friday. No prediction for me on Auburn. I'm with the 80% crowd that don't trust Freeze. So I can't pick Auburn and just can't pick them to lose. I hope I'm wrong, and War Eagle, everyone. Y'all have a great weekend. And Molly, go Big Red. Woo! Conrad, good luck. And I hate Tennessee as much as I hate Bammer. So good luck to you.
Thank you, Don Don.
Conrad, you going to say thank you to Don Don?
Thank you, Don Don.
What kind of input would private equity have in conference expansion and realignment when that inevitably comes? Does their 10% stake warrant them having a 10% say in alignment? Great questions. In case you missed it, private equity trying to buy into the Big Ten, trading $2 billion of cash flow. Someone's sending us a picture. That's Howie. He's at Buc-ee's heading to Nashville, but he took a picture outside with Bucky, Pat, just for us because he knows we're.
Aw.
It's a special place for me and you.
Yeah, me and you, anytime that we pass a Buc-ee's, me and Landrum, treat it like a playground. Go in there, hang out.
Yep. Yeah.
You treat it like a playground?
Landrum treats the bathrooms like a playground.
I like to go in there, get a good shower. A lot of times I'll do my shaving
He does the 3 S's.
in there.
What's the third one? Sorry, you know I'm bad at riddles. I was just...
Scrub, shave, soak.
They don't have bathtubs in there.
You haven't been going to the right Buc-ee's, apparently. Is that the VIP package? There's a secret area in the back where you can get a full bathtub.
No, there's not. Have you, just given what's been going on? No, there's not.
Buc-ee's does have good bathrooms, though.
They've got great bathrooms.
Very clean. High quality. So you don't need to put the toilet paper on the seat there because you know they clean them.
You wouldn't do it anyway.
Well, no,
You
I
wouldn't do it anyways.
No,
You raw dog the toilet seat.
I would, but I'm just saying, like, that has to give you peace of mind if you're at a place like that. Like, oh, sweet, this saved me 30 seconds. You can just plop right down.
Just plop right down.
Yeah.
Wayne says, my wife is a dirty Vol. It's the only day of the year we don't speak until the game's over. She also thinks John... She also thinks that Josh Heupel is hot. She's not that smart. Bama 41-24.
That's awesome.
Oh. Hastings is Landrum soaking in honor of No.
No, you just do that anyways. Doesn't need to be a
Not that
special
kind.
occasion.
Someone said, show Mr. Smith. That would be Pat, I guess. What came in the mail today? He's a card fan, old school here. He's got a Tom Herr autographed couple of baseball cards.
Amazing. Tom Herr.
Well, Tommy Herr.
Incredible second baseman. Incredible.
Another prediction, Alabama 49, low down, dirty snitches 17.
That'd be something.
Daniel, I'm sure y'all discussed it just listening while driving. Does Hugh Freeze survive the weekend with a loss? Also, Alabama big, Tide jumps to Heisman favorite.
I think Ty's right up there anyway, right?
Yeah, he's
tied for first, I believe.
with who's
I think it's Mendoza, right?
yeah, it's Mendoza.
And then I think Carson Beck's right behind them.
Yep. As for Hugh Freeze, does a loss do him in? I don't know. I don't think you get any kind of movement on Sunday.
I think barring, if Missouri comes in and they beat Auburn 49-7, maybe you have a different conversation. But I would say win or lose tomorrow, I fully expect that Hugh Freeze will be the head football coach at Auburn 1 week from right now.
Evan, don't know if Jordan's been to Doobie Hill, but pretty sure.
I've been waiting for you to get to that one.
She's.
Okay, you can. I'm sure there's a way around it, right?
It just alludes to visiting Booty Hill, where a famous Civil War battle took place.
Mm-hmm.
Bama 41, Garbage Truck Workers Convention 31. If she think it's going back to guy whose wife thinks Josh Heupel's hot.